Hey everybody, I've got to squeeze in a second video today because we've got the morning consult slash Bloomberg polling out for the key swing states. I try to take a look at this every time they put it out because it looks at all the battlegrounds. And the headline we're looking at here is Kamala Harris wipes out Trump's swing state lead in election dead heat. The vice president is polling better than Biden was before he dropped out, according to the latest survey. So as I say every time, keep in mind this is just one poll. Always take it somewhat with a grain of salt and keep in mind the usual sample size and margin of error. So let's quickly go through the swing states, and across all 7, it's Harris now that has the 1-point lead, 48-47. In Arizona, Trump was leading the entire time, and it's flipped now. Harris is up 49-47. Georgia is dead even at 47. Michigan, what's going on here? Harris is up 11 points, 53-42. That at least seems like an outlier, similar to the polling we've seen for Trump in the past in some of these Rust Belt states where it showed him trailing by a ton. In the end, they missed a lot of his support. In Nevada, that's flipped. She's up 47-45. In North Carolina, Trump is up 48-46. And then Pennsylvania, Trump is up 50-46. And Wisconsin, Harris is up 49-47. So these polls are kind of all over the place. I can't see any scenario where Harris wins Michigan by double digits, but then right nearby, Trump wins Pennsylvania by 4 points. Very unusual to say the least. Now, it's possible Harris has made some gains. It seems like after Biden got out, most Democrats are actually excited. Now, as we scroll down a little bit further, the key question is going to be, is this just a honeymoon phase that's going to fizzle out? Or is Harris the new Obama and she's going to dominate everything? From my perception, it does seem very unlikely that she would go from a very unpopular vice president all the way to rock star status in just a week or two. Something seems off there, but you never know. Maybe it turns out to last. The next chart asks, with Biden out of the race, are you more or less likely to vote now? With pretty much everybody, black voters, Gen Z, Hispanic, and all registered voters, they're easily going to be more likely to want to vote. Again, maybe Harris was just unpopular in the background as VP, but now that she's the face of the next administration, somehow all that might just go away. I don't think that's likely. I do think she would come down. I think it's also possible we might see some of the Bradley effect. It's going to be where some voters would rather tell pollsters they're going to be voting for Harris. They might think it's more socially acceptable to do so, but then on election day, they're either going to sit home or they're going to go for Trump. Again, none of this is guaranteed. These are just some possibilities. Then if we go down further, they ask if you have a favorable or unfavorable impression of some of the potential vice presidential candidates. This is just among swing state Democrats. It looks like the most popular here is going to be Pete Buttigieg. Then we've got Josh Shapiro, then Mark Kelly, Raphael Warnock, Andy Beshear, and then J.B. Pritzker is at the bottom. Then it mentions some issues like immigration and the economy. Those were previously some issues that Trump was really strong on. But then down here it asks, who do you trust more to handle the economy? When it was Biden versus Trump, it was a huge gap and Trump had the advantage. Now that it's Harris, Trump still has the advantage, but it's much more narrow. So we never know what's going on in voters' minds. I do think Biden's age and the general unpopularity of that administration dragged down the enthusiasm for Democrats so much. The fact that he's out of there means it feels like it's such a relief and a fresh start before the election. Now, I think a honeymoon phase does seem most likely for Harris. Trump supporters, I'm sure, are going to point to the polls underestimating his support yet again. I'm sure there's going to be some people that find it easier to tell a pollster that they're voting for Harris than for Trump, but it's an interesting dynamic. Democrats look like they were surely headed for defeat. Now it's pretty much a toss-up again, and we've got to give it a few weeks to see what happens. Harris seems to have gotten very favorable media treatment for whatever reason, and this is all coming after the Trump assassination attempt, which theoretically should have given him some more sympathy. But we've still got debates. We got to see who Harris picks as a running mate, plus all the big ad buys are going to start to come into the key battlegrounds. Let's see what happens, but this is a look at the updated key swing states for Morning Consult. So let me know in the comments, what do you think of these new polls? Is this just a temporary phase and a boost for Harris, or is this polling going to last? How about the 11-point advantage for Harris in Michigan, but she's trailing by 4 in Pennsylvania? Why do you think she went from very unpopular to super popular overnight? What does Trump have to do to respond? Let me know down below on your way out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Join if you'd like to support the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.